Bags, where horror lies.
Guys, Rob and Georgia here with you, aka VHS82 apostrophe. I'm your regular Wednesday evening host here at Body Bags. It is week 518. It is an Elm Street Legacy week. But you already knew that, right? Because you already watched what dropped on Monday, you already watched what dropped on Tuesday, and now hopefully you're here seeing what is dropping today. So it's up to me. Glenn did, of course, the original Nightmare. But as we tear apart this Never Sleep Again documentary as well, he dealt with the first section, and Jason, of course, dealt with the second part, as well as the Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. And so it is on me not only to take a quick look at Dream Warriors, the doc, but also Friday you'll see me again for Part 5, the Dream Child. So it's a Nightmare on Elm Street week. So yeah, I thought I would just, I just need some sound right now. I'm mowed the lawn today. My brain is just like fried. And unfortunately, all I'm riding with is the Walmart franchise, the cheap way, right? I do have a few videotapes here and there. Of course, this is the only one I have out of this set, which I'm not sure. I must have picked it up at a, I don't know, Goodwill maybe for $1 or something. I don't know. So I just needed something on, and the one thing you don't get with these is a good set screen, so I just needed some music or something. Dream Warriors. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Dream Warriors just doesn't hit me the way it used to. Maybe I've just watched it too much. Don't get me wrong. I love the movie. I really do. But Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, I saw that when I was 14 in the theater, and that was one of the most amazing moments I have ever had in a movie theater, as a kid especially. I still remember what that was like. That was just insane. But with this franchise, Nightmare on Elm Street stands apart. The second part has grown on me over the years. Dream Warriors just seems to be wearing out on me. I don't know. I'm finding myself, if I'm in the mood for a Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm finding myself more and more in the mood. I'll throw on the fourth one, the Dream Master, I guess it is, right? And then 5, Dream Child. I'm finding, maybe, and I love the Halloween franchise. That might be my go-to franchise. But I'm finding I do the same thing over there with the Daniel Harris arc 4 and 5. I'm finding myself more and more looking at the 4 and 5. Alice, Alice's arc, right? Lisa Wilcox's character. But Nightmare on Elm Street as a franchise, it just, I don't know. Dream Warriors. We all know the story. I don't know. Do I really need to go through it? It's interesting watching this documentary. One of the things they said in coming into the third piece was, it just seemed like Freddy's Revenge was not quite tailored to the general masses as maybe it ought to have been, or I don't know, not. But that's what they thought, and so they wanted to re-engineer, I guess, the third piece to be more general audiences. One of the mass audience, right? And one of the things they said was interesting was, more today than ever, we get this whole, Freddy's Revenge, the gayest Nightmare on Elm Street of the franchise. But then there was a comment made last night with that perhaps the third piece was the Christian version of A Nightmare on Elm Street, in the sense that it is a cross at the end. It is holy water, of course, on the grave area. And you know, and what you start to find is with each entry, it seems to have its thing. With the Dream Child, it's pregnancy, abortion, it's those issues, those life choices, right? And with the, you know, with the Dream Warriors, it just seemed to be an attempt to sort of go back to the original film and make what would feel more to mass audiences a more natural, you know, extension or sequel. And so, you know, I don't know, it just doesn't hit me. It just doesn't hit me the way it used to. You know, it's one of my favorite moments in this entire movie. So this is like, what, 7-8 years later, something like that. And what's left of the Elm Street children are basically residents at this children's hospital for, I don't want to say the mentally insane, but it's, you know, they deal with the issues like that. And these kids are just surviving, and the suicides are just going, you know, Freddy is at it, and he is tormenting these kids. And what's his name? Craig Wasson as Neil just doesn't know what to do. And of course, Heather Langenkamp, Nancy's character, who is now a this sounds the wrong way. I don't mean it like this, but, you know, self-proclaimed frontline of dream post-traumatic or dream traumatic therapy, whatever. And so she comes in right at the right time when Patricia Arquette's character becomes our main final girl. Comes in and so Nancy comes in and so joins the team of both Neil and the main head nurse, or the head doctor. And then it just, you know, boom, it just starts, you know, to go. But it begins, and this is what I was trying to, I'm telling you, my brain is so fried right now. It begins with when Kristen, when she falls into her nightmare, and Freddy, you know, it's the whole snake, worm, whatever you want to call it, that whole practical effect moment where, you know, Freddy comes up right out of the floor and takes her into his mouth, and he's just basically swallowing her whole. She has this innate gift of being able to pull people into her dream. And so this is one of my favorite moments in the movie, actually, when she calls on Nancy and literally pulls her into her dream. And when she does, she, of course, I mean, this is delirium, right? But she doesn't even know really what's going on, but just acts, you know, on behalf of Kristen, and picks up a piece of glass and then just puts it right into the eye of this creature thing. But then immediately Freddy, we know it's Freddy. It's just another. I love it when he looks at Nancy and he just kind of like looks at her and he's like, you. And then of course Nancy realizes like, oh my God. But they're able to get out of the dream, out of the nightmare. And then that begins this move towards dream gifts. And, you know, you got a cast of characters in here, of course, you know, the Dream Wizard, and trying to think what the one girl who was a former drug addict. Of course, you know, she's beautiful and bad, and you got Kincaid in here, and a young Laurence Fishburne, which is really super cool as Max. And you got the kid who just makes should be working with wood, but they won't let him have a knife, so he carved the puppets and stuff. And so his dream sequence, his nightmare death sequence, is pretty awesome. In that, you know, Freddy sort of carves out, you know, like a puppet and just sort of leads him up to the top of the tower, and he just boom, falls out. Right? We've all seen this, right? We have all seen this a zillion times. I do like Neil a lot. I like his interaction with Amanda Krueger and just rediscovering. I love bringing John Saxon back in, although I don't know, he just seems a little too washed up for me, too hesitant in light of, you know, regrets of how, you know, things went down in the first film. I just think I would have liked it better if he would have been more written as though this is his redemption arc, right? And he just is way too resistant. And it's a struggle between him and Neil, right? I love the whole nod to Jason and the Argonauts. I think I picked that up out of the doc, We're the Dream Warriors, which was phenomenal. That documentary, it's straight through. I have not seen the whole thing straight through, but I saw 3 major segments of it last night, and that was amazing. To just, you know, and you just picked up so much from that. I mean, there's a lot to like in Dream Warriors. I conceptually, you see, one of the things you pick up in the doc is that Wes Craven, his original script was much darker. And you know, of course, they ended up with, and this surprise, totally forgot Frank Darabont is one of the writers on this, along with Chuck Russell. And I don't know, you know, I guess the piece of this film that wears on me the most is once you get to the point where you're going into where they're all sort of collectively coming together in the dream to find their gifts and everything. I don't know. There's just, whatever. I don't know. It's just this one wears on me. I don't know why. I used to love this movie just so much, but now I'm finding there's other pieces of the franchise that actually are drawing me more into. I do love putting on Freddy's Revenge from time to time. I just think he's way more sinister in that movie, much darker. Set aside the subtext and all that stuff. I think it's a great movie. I don't know. And then you just segue into the Alice arc. And I guess I'll speak more to that on Friday when I talk about the Dream Master. Or I'm sorry, when I talk about the Dream Child. See, I'm telling you, I am so wiped out. But anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and just sort of, look, it's Elm Street week, man. Some of one of my greatest memories is watching the original film. The original film, some days, got to be on 4K. I so badly want to see that movie on 4K. It is my stand apart from the rest of the franchise. I do not have another franchise that's like that. But the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise for me is just, I don't know. There's the original film and then there is the rest of the franchise. And of late, 5 seems to be, which is funny that I got to step in and do it for Friday. It's funny that one, the one that's been drawing me in the most of late, is the one that I got to look at here at the end of the week. And so that's interesting. So it's like, I don't know. I never, ever want to come across as negative or anything, and I don't mean to. And I think I've said enough about Dream Warriors that I do like Dawkins, of course, you know. I do love Patricia Arquette, as she's so good in this. And it really is a tragedy that her character didn't move over. It's too bad she didn't come back for Dream Master. She should have come back for Dream Master. And she should have had a more fitting end than the one that was written for the three survivors of this movie. All basically get it in the first, 5-10 minutes of the second of the next movie. Which, doesn't it remind you of Fincher's Alien 3? Isn't that funny? But Dream Warriors is, I guess maybe if I don't watch it for like a year or so, I'm just gonna rediscover it and refine everything I love about it in a much better way. But just lately, I don't know. This one's been wearing thin on me. I don't know why. But anyways, it is a Nightmare on Elm Street theme week all week. And the Legacy, the Never Sleep Again documentary is so freaking awesome. Really, and it's on YouTube. When you put in Never Sleep Again, you'll see, like, I think it's the second one in, and it's the one that's like 7.5 hours or whatever, something like that. That's the one I did, and it's not hard to find the segment breaks in as you're floating down. You know what I'm talking about. But definitely worth checking out. Definitely worth checking out. So, Dream Warriors. Feel the same way as I do, or is this just one that is like the best of the franchise for you? Never gets old. Comfort food to the max. You put it on anytime, and that's freaking awesome. I have my own movies like that. This is I probably won't look at this one again for a while. I don't know. And I do like elements of it, though. I really do like the cemetery scene. Again, the scenes with Amanda, Neil, some of the dialogue scenes between him and Nancy is good. I did not like Nancy's death at the end. I just thought that was, I don't know. I thought it was too cheap. I don't know. It wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible. But anyways, I don't know. I'm tired. Anyways, Dream Warriors. All week long. Elm Street Legacy. Check it out. As always, go Bills.
This is not a dream. Not a dream.
We might be useful to